You are not the strongest animal on Earth. You never were. You don't have the fastest reflexes. You don't have the sharpest claws. You can't outrun a horse, outswim a shark, or outfight a bear. And yet, at some point in the last 100,000 years, every other predator on this planet started losing, not to a faster creature, not to a bigger one, to you. The question isn't whether humans are dangerous. The question is when that happened, and the answer is far stranger than you think. Go back 300,000 years. Your ancestors are alive, but barely, small groups. Maybe a few dozen individuals. They are prey as much as they are predators. Lions hunt them. Hyenas steal their kills. Crocodiles take them at rivers. They sleep in trees not because they want to, but because the ground isn't safe after dark. In the grand food chain of the ancient world, early humans are somewhere in the middle. Scavengers, mostly, waiting for the big cats to leave before they move in. That is where your story starts, not at the top. At the edge, something changed. Researchers have debated this shift for decades, and the honest answer is that it wasn't one thing. It was a cascade, a slow, invisible accumulation of changes that suddenly tipped the balance. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham at Harvard argues that one of the earliest triggers was fire, not just for warmth, not just to scare off predators in the night. Fire changed what you could eat. Cooking unlocked calories that raw food couldn't provide. Your brain grew, your gut shrank. You became metabolically a different kind of animal, more fuel, more processing power, a body redesigned around thinking. But a bigger brain alone doesn't make you dangerous. What it did was give you the capacity for something no other species had ever developed at scale. Language, not just sounds, not just signals, real, recursive, generative language. The ability to describe something that isn't in front of you, to talk about yesterday, to plan for next year, to say, there is a herd of horses 3 valleys to the east, and if we go at dawn and circle from the north side, we can trap them at the river. That sentence changed everything. Linguist Daniel Everett spent decades living with isolated Amazonian tribes, and what he found was that even the most remote human communities share this capacity. Every human group, no matter how separated from civilization, tells stories, plans futures, remembers the past. This is not a skill that varies between cultures. It is species level. It is in you the same way echolocation is in a bat. You are built for it. And once your ancestors could share plans, the real cascade began. Cooperation at scale is almost impossible in the animal kingdom. Chimpanzees cooperate, but only in groups of a few dozen, and those groups are held together by constant social negotiation, dominance displays, grooming. It is fragile. It breaks. Your ancestors found a way around this limit. They didn't just share plans, they shared myths, shared identities, shared beliefs about who belonged to the group and why. Evolutionary biologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford showed that the human brain has a natural ceiling for maintaining close social relationships, around 150 individuals. But here is the twist. Humans routinely cooperate in groups of thousands, millions, even billions. How? Because of something that doesn't exist in the physical world. You can't touch a nation. You can't point to a company. You can't smell a religion. These are ideas, shared fictions that exist only because enough people believe in them simultaneously. And the moment your ancestors developed the ability to create and maintain shared fictions at scale, the rules of every ecosystem they entered changed permanently. You were no longer hunting as a band of 30. You were hunting as a tribe of 300, all following the same plan, all coordinating through shared language, shared ritual, shared belief. The megafauna didn't stand a chance. 40,000 years ago, Australia had giant wombats the size of hippos, monitor lizards 10 meters long, and marsupial lions with slicing teeth. Within a few thousand years of humans arriving, almost all of them were extinct. The same pattern repeated in North America 12,000 years ago. Woolly mammoths. Giant ground sloths, American horses and camels, all gone within centuries of human arrival. Paleontologist Paul Martin called this the Pleistocene overkill, not a coincidence, not a climate event. A systematic, coordinated, unprecedented removal of megafauna from every continent humans touched. Think about what that means. Every large animal that evolved alongside humans in Africa had time to develop fear of them, time to learn. But the animals in Australia, in the Americas, in the Pacific, they had never seen a creature like this. They had no instinctive fear. They had no escape strategy for something that could coordinate, plan, and kill from a distance with a thrown spear. They were not prepared. They could not become prepared fast enough. You didn't become dangerous slowly. You became dangerous suddenly, and then you spread. By 10,000 years ago, your ancestors had figured out agriculture. You stopped following the animals. You made the animals come to you. You didn't just reshape your diet. You reshaped the landscape itself. Forests became fields, riverbanks became cities, wild animals became livestock. The world outside your skin began to conform to the world inside your head for the first time in the history of life on Earth, and the pace never slowed. Today, wild mammals make up about 4% of all mammal biomass on Earth. Humans and our livestock make up the other 96%. Every whale, every elephant, every wolf and tiger and gorilla, all of them together are outnumbered by the animals you domesticated, and by you. The predator that started at the edge of the food chain, sleeping in trees to avoid lions, now determines which other species continue to exist. None of this happened because you got stronger, or faster, or more physically lethal. It happened because of something almost invisible. A shift in how information moved between individuals. A new kind of coordination. A capacity to believe in things that didn't exist yet and then make them real. The most dangerous animal on Earth is not the one with the sharpest teeth. It is the one with the most coherent story about what tomorrow could look like. Tonight, when you sit across from another person and you make a plan, about anything, about dinner, about next year, about a problem you're trying to solve together, you are doing the thing that changed this planet more than any asteroid, any ice age, any geological event in the last 65 million years. You were never the strongest. You just learned how to think together, and that turned out to be enough to remake the world.